Over here, I have a message for you. Experimenting with time, unfortunately, leaves one rarely surprised. For example, I knew I would find you here. I am a sage of the Psijic Order, as I assumed you would have realized since we're standing upon Artaeum. But I have a message. The Right Master requires your assistance. As I was going out anyway, I agreed to act as a messenger for you. I'm sure the Right Master will provide details, though I can tell you it involves the augury spell he plans to cast upon the abyssal pearl that you and Valcerin discovered. You can find the Right Master in Kapora Tower in the main gallery.
Good, you're back. Valcerin suggested you would be invaluable in our efforts to extract information from the Abyssal Pearl, and I concur. We've started the augury ritual, but the Pearl has proven resistant to our efforts to reveal its secrets. A few insignificant echoes and a name to apply to it, but nothing to tell us who created it or what kind of magic it employs. It isn't Daedric in origin, though, despite the false Aldarch's allegiance. It's time to utilize more drastic means. We're about to enter a crucial stage of the augury ritual, so none of us can leave this chamber. If you could find my acolyte, Oriandra, she'll provide you with the amplification elixir we require. She's in Sothasil's study, upstairs. Oriandra should be in Sothasil's chambers, cataloging his old research and experiments. Tell her I need the amplification elixir to strengthen our augury ritual. That should help us determine what the pearl is and where it came from. Leader implies command, and a level of structure more suited to an army than an order of mystic monks. That said, I oversee the Psijic Order and our conclave of the 11 forces. Someone must steer the ship, after all. Is there something else? You have traveled across the mystic realms to reach the island we call Artaeum. As an uninitiated, this may sound confusing, but the Psijic Order changes the location of its headquarters on occasion, and by that I mean we move the entire island. Tamriel, my friend, you left the boundaries of Nirn behind you when you stepped through that portal. Only a select few, not of our order, are ever granted this honor. Luminaries such as Sothasil and yourself. To everyone else, Artaeum remains sealed. The ritual has reached a critical stage. If we stop now, we'll have to start all over again. Besides, such a trivial use of magic is beneath members of the Psijic Order. Find my acolyte, Oriandra. She's the only Imperial currently in the Order. While the majority of our Order falls under the Altmer persuasion, we sometimes invite those of other races who possess powerful magical talents to join us. Oriandra is one such individual. Now, if you would, we really need that ritual component. The Wyrus Oracle's prophecy, yes, she informed me of her vision. That's why I agreed to Valcerin's request to involve you in this matter. Summerset, Artaeum, and the Daedric princes that Sothasil warned us about. Coincidences, perhaps, or there's a greater threat facing us than what we have so far been made aware of. I don't sense Daedric magic in the Pearl, but there is a stronger presence that I can't quite identify. That's why I need that component from Oriandra.
Friend of Valcerin, I have a proposal for you.
You must be the adventurer that Valcerin was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. Oh, I suppose you already talked to the Right Master, seeing as you're here in Kapora Tower. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Right Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sothasil creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valserin's transference spell, the Rite Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Rite Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Rite Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day. Why does every high elf think they're superior to the rest of us? Being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for joining the Psijic Order. The Rite Master saw my potential and honored me with an invitation. I'm proud of what I've accomplished here. I'm not allowed to reveal where you are or how our magic works, other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Psijic Order, Artaeum. While we're not currently part of Nirn's reality, we still keep track of events there. I could say we have our ways and leave it at that, but you deserve a better explanation. The Rite Master sends Psijics back to the world to perform tasks and gather information. Plus, we have powerful scrying magic that reveals all sorts of details. I was examining the vial of amplification elixir myself just a short time ago. It should be right over there.
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valserin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts. We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here. Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Summerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the Pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of Oblivion. We're missing something, but what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthiel. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valserin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the Pearls. I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. I'll answer what I can. From what I've experienced, an alliance isn't just unusual, it's contrary to their very nature. Oh, they'll work together from time to time, but something as complex as what Sotha Seal hinted at is unheard of. Makes me interested to learn more. Very little, I'm afraid. The last time I passed through that area was more than 350 years ago. They made an exquisite wine, as I recall, and the House of Reveries theater troupe always put on an entertaining show. The augury ritual extracted a vision of the false Aldark and the Court of Bedlam, but nothing specifically about the Pearl. Its magic isn't Daedric, though. How they can steal life energy and use it to summon those sea creatures remains a mystery.
Seeking a sip of fine russet-tailed red? Prepare for disappointment.
Ah, this one has been looking for you. Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arteum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ah, that made Raz's head hurt. Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra or their cultists. And this revelation brings you to Relenthiel, yes? That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canon Reef Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
Bet the dead of Tanzelwell had a lot to say about Irene.
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child. But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthiel? Investigating? For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing, and my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole that recently appeared. What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. I wouldn't draw such a harsh conclusion without substantial evidence. I can't understand why they're fascinated with the sinkhole, but that doesn't make them criminals. I suppose 2 high elves and a well-dressed Khajiit can be trusted. Take a look around and let me know if you find anything significant. I just wish my son Nadoril would stay away from there. He's become so intense lately. A phase, I'm sure.
Raz wants to ask the Cannon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijik and go investigate the sinkhole.
I'll meet you in the sinkhole.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference. I'll be back!
Those horrible creatures tore off my hood!
That young woman was certainly in a hurry. And what was that about Nadoril and an attack? Yes, well, let's be on our guard then. I don't think this sinkhole is completely natural. Its size concerns me. If the ground continues to fall away, it could swallow all of Relenthal. It certainly feels dangerous, and if it does figure into the Court of Bedlin's plans, well, I can't think of a more frightening event than watching Relenthal get swallowed by a sinkhole. Let's proceed and find out what's going on down here. The walls and ceiling, they don't look stable. I'll try to reinforce the roof spots and catch up with them. Yagra creatures. Be careful. The size of this place. It's almost as if someone dug up through the island. I'll teleport closer to the central area and meet you there.
Someone there! Help! Please help! Crazy bastard stabbed me! God, this hurts! It was just kind of fun, joining the court of Bedlam, espousing the virtues of our Ultima heritage. But Nadoral, he took things too far. When we heard that they planned to release those creatures, I made the mistake of saying they were insane. Nadoral objected, called me unworthy. That's when he stabbed me.
The court of Bedlam will eradicate the lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see. You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea slode. They haven't been seen in Summerset since, well, it's been centuries at least. A vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea slode come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the slode? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. They're everywhere. The slode are a godless people, perhaps the most hated in Tamriel. And the sea slode are even worse. They employ depraved magic and have long coveted Summerset. They believe it once belonged to them. They pillage, release plagues. They're horrible. The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, nothing would surprise me. That slode has me worried, though. I can't think of anything worse than an alliance between those foul beasts and Daedric cultists. They could certainly have a connection to the sea slode's submerged kingdom, but they appear to have been placed down here. Look how the Yagra are drawn to them. I'll head for the sea slode. You deal with those abyssal pearls.
Master! Intruders in the cave!
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot. We need to get over there. This way! Up here! Damn! No sign of where the sea slow disappeared to. Damn it! I wasn't fast enough. For the time being, let's see what's through that opening. The sea slode left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature. Over there.
Hurry, busy! Somehow Raz knew he'd find you.
Sea slodes? This is worse than the Right Master imagined. Meet me.
Did the pretty Sijic say sea slode? No. Raz must have heard wrong. That could not have been what she said. Slode? That's bad. And sea slode? That sounds even worse. If the sea slode threatens Summerset, Queen Irene must be informed. We need to act. Wait. What did you say about the Cannon Reeve's son? Daedra worshippers. In Summerset. And Slode. Oh, Raz likes this situation less and less. As for Nedoril, Raz knows how to deal with traitors. This one will meet you at the Cannon Reeve's house.
Ha ha ha!
Bet the dead of Tanzelwell had a lot to say about Irene.
The Eye of the Queen? How dare you accuse my son of treason? The Queen's Eye. How dare he not identify himself when he first arrived? And how dare he accuse my foolish son of something as serious as treason? The Queen shall hear of this, mark my words. Sea slode? Plus all this nonsense about Altma's superiority, and now murder? I am the Cannon Reeve of Relenthil. I took an oath to serve and protect my community. How in the Queen's name am I supposed to reconcile my son's actions? Oh, Nedoril, what have you done? Please, you must talk to the Queen's Eye. He needs to show mercy. I'm sure we can find a way to resolve this without... Oh, here comes Nedoril now.
I have a lot to answer for? The court of Bedlam is going to turn me into a god.
Foolishness can be ignored. Murder and treason, not so much.
You and your queen have no authority over a true Ultima, you mangy cat.
This one cannot allow your crimes to stand unanswered.
Nidoril! No! No! I understand. Relenthil is loyal to the Queen.
Sometimes the eye sees treason and must cut it out before it spreads. This one is sorry you had to witness that. Blasphemy, treason, murder. How many crimes must one commit to attract the attention of the executioner's blade? Raz decided that a message had to be sent. Enemies of the Queen will not be tolerated. Treason and the Queen's justice are serious business. Raz has been forced into this role on rare occasions, but he never seeks it out or looks forward to wielding the blade. A necessary part of my job, yes. No. Raz will see to the Cannon Reeve and send word to the Queen before looking deeper into the Court of Bedlam. You should return to Arteum and let the Sijiks know what we learned. I tell you, Five Claw, this whole situation makes Raz want to hiss.
Friend of Valcerin, I've been informed that you encountered a sea slode in a sinkhole beneath Relenthil. That bodes ill for Summerset, perhaps all of Nirn. I fear there are difficult days ahead. I'm familiar with that particular sea slode and its renegades. Call themselves the Abyssal Cabal. I thought I defeated them long ago, but it appears I was in error. What about the pearls? Valcerin mentioned you encountered more in the sinkhole. Val described those seaborne monstrosities. I have a vague recollection of Keturah utilizing such creatures in the past, but for some reason, the memories refuse to snap into focus. I suppose that's another mystery I'll need to look into. The Daedric princes require minions to carry out their will, and the Slode have always had an interest in the green and pleasant island. It isn't hard to see why they might work together. For now, you have my thanks for assisting Valcerin. I asked, the more we learn, the more the nature of the threat becomes clear.